After almost a millennium of Sith Lords gathering and passing down knowledge from master to apprentice, Darth Plagueis represented the culmination of the Order's strength. Although an impressive lightsaber duelist and warrior in his own right, and possessing a tremendous knowledge of the Force itself, Plagueis is perhaps most well known for his skills with midi-chlorian manipulation, and its role in unlocking the secret of immortality. But despite all of these impressive abilities, Plagueis' own apprentice Darth Sidious saw his master's greatest strength as having nothing to do with lightsaber combat, the Force, or midi-chlorian manipulation. Rather, it was Plagueis' ability to manipulate the galaxy and push the Sith towards achieving its grand plan. In this video expose, we'll look at what Sidious saw as Plagueis' greatest strength. From the very beginning, the Rule of Two was never meant to see the Sith attempt to destroy the Republic and Jedi by themselves. With only two Sith, it was an inherent principle within Darth Bane's vision that the Rule of Two required an alliance with numerous spheres of influence across the galaxy. Even as Bane was first developing the concept of his rule, he understood that non-Sith minions and servants had to be drawn into the service of the dark side through the promise of power. Although they would never share true power with the Sith, these servants were instrumental in the eventual conquest of the Republic. As Bane would later explain to his apprentice Darth Seiner, it wouldn't only be up to the Sith to directly weaken the Republic. While they would certainly play their part, the Sith Order also had to focus on gathering their own strength and knowledge of the dark side. They needed allies in which to make continuous strikes at their enemies that over time would weaken the Republic and Jedi. For example, this affected groups who shared the Sith hatred of the Republic had to be sought out by their Order and exploited, playing them off the Republic as the Sith remained hidden. Therefore, from its beginning, the Rule of Two was always dependent upon the ability of the Sith to manipulate others, and exploit groups and individuals across the galaxy who would help them achieve their end goal of obtaining galactic power. This conception of the Rule of Two was passed down through the subsequent Masters of the Order over the centuries. By the time of the reign of Darth Tenebrous, the Master to Darth Plagueis, the knowledge that the Sith had to ally with others was put into practice, and served a crucial role in the successes of first Tenebrous and then Plagueis. As Tenebrous would explain to his apprentice, the Sith are an unseen opposition, a phantom menace. But the Force works through us all the more powerfully in our invisibility. For the present, the more covert we remain, the more influence we can have. Our revenge will be achieved not through subjugation, but by contagion. Thus, Tenebrous taught Plagueis that the Sith should work not just to amass knowledge of the Force and wealth, but to secure contacts and alliances with groups that would one day be instrumental in a galaxy-wide movement of opposition to the Republic and the Jedi Order that served it. It was through these alliances where corruption and lawlessness could be encouraged within the political sphere, and where the Sith would only need to manipulate the actions of an important few to control the behavior of millions. Plagueis took this principle started by Bane and succeeded more than any other Sith Lord within the Rule of Two era. Aided by his connections to the banking clan, Plagueis wouldn't just merely engage in alliances with influential politicians and crime syndicates. He would engage in an experiment in social alchemy, of manipulation on a galactic scale that Darth Bane could only dream of. Building off the legacy created by his father, Plagueis would host an annual gathering of influential beings from across the galaxy, in an event that would be known simply as the Gathering. Shrouded in secrecy and attended only through invitation, Plagueis, through his alter ego Higo Damask, would host everyone from Republic senators to crime lords, with the goal of plotting the course of galactic history. Rather than allow events to unfold by happenstance, Plagueis pulled the strings of the galaxy's most influential beings. Without anyone knowing his true nature and allegiances to the Sith, Plagueis fashioned himself into one of the most influential power brokers in the galaxy. It was through Plagueis' gatherings where seeds would be planted for actions decades in the future, such as the Trade Federation's blockade of Naboo. As Bane had always wanted, the Sith were in a position of wealth and influence that was required in order to bring his grand plan into fruition, and Plagueis played this role to perfection. Plagueis' skills for influence peddling and manipulating galactic events to benefit the Sith were not lost upon his apprentice. Sidious recognized that his master developed an obsession with manipulating midi-chlorians, which had unfortunately taken time away from his greatest talent, the manipulation of individuals that kept the galaxy in opposition to the Republic and Jedi. Although Plagueis would ultimately lose interest in the gatherings as he devoted all of his time to unlocking the secret of eternal life, Sidious would adopt his master's greatest strength. Recognizing that he needed to pull the strings of the galaxy from the shadows following the rise of the Empire, Sidious created his own invisible steering committee, viewing this unseen collection of power as vital to the rule of the Empire. Mimicking the gatherings undertaken by Plagueis, Sidious brought together elements from the corporate entities, the Senate, the HoloNet, the military, the criminal cartels and syndicates, spy networks, and the Bounty Hunters Guild, all in an effort to shape the galaxy as Sidious required. Seeing how the manipulation of events and individuals was crucial to the rise of the Sith in the Rule of Two era, Sidious adopted Plagueis' greatest strength as a necessary element for maintaining his new empire. So there we have it, what Sidious saw as Plagueis' greatest strength. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel. Or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive rewards and discussions. If not for me... for manipulation.